Okay, folks. So this is a bit of a change of topic. I kind of mentioned in my last video that I wanted to start a series, basically about like my journey out of debt. Given that, as time has gone on, my focus has shifted elsewhere, and especially since I graduated from college, it's been all about like, um, you know, money and health. And in this case, I'm focusing on the whole money issue. Um, I'm gonna try to make this video short because the last time I tried to record, I went on to like half an hour, and I think that's a bit too long. But anyways, essentially, like the biggest reason why I'm so focused on the whole debt issue. I mean, other than all the stuff that's really going on right now, is just sort of like my focus in life is kind of like wanting to get to that sort of peak of whatever aspect we're talking about. In this case, talking about money, that means getting out of debt, building wealth, and then eventually having enough such that um, you know I'm taken care of, but then I have the ability to take care of others, like my folks, um, friends, etc. Kind of like a far more positive influence on the world if I'm not having to worry about where my next meal is coming from, that sort of deal. But as far as where things like started in terms of like a timeline, so I graduated college. I had a credit card. I kind of really hadn't paid attention to it. I hadn't paid attention to a lot of things in life. Kind of sleepwalked through life. Not really hung around like the kind of folks for the most part who really had a mission in life or were aware of understood money, debt, etc. Um, but started hanging around those folks, started learning about investing and debt and stocks and bonds and so on and so forth and crypto and whatnot. And after I finally graduated, I looked into my Credit Karma account, found out that I owed a huge amount of money, mostly student loans. And in addition to that, I also had a sizable bill to pay off for parking fines. But I started essentially chipping away at that. First up, took care of my initial credit card debt, which essentially was from 3 years of me trying to impress a certain girl. It really was a dumb thing to do, but um, you live, you learn, you pay your dues. I got that taken care of, and then I went and took care of the parking fine bill, which took a few months. I had to initially use my credit cards and then pay those off, and then eventually I zeroed everything out. I was able to get my vehicle registration renewed, and then from there, I uh, I went on to essentially tackling my student loan debt initially. I'd already been making minimum payments on my car loan, keeping that all in order, and making minimum payments on one of the student loans, which was one that my uncle signed on to. He co-signed that, but once I took full stock of everything that I owed, I just started sort of knocking them down, taking advantage of overtime, hazard pay, etc., and just making maximum payments, and started making some progress. I got those early wins using the debt snowball method, making payments on the smallest loans, knocking those out, and then eventually I was able to tackle some of the larger loans, which took me about like 4 to 5 months to pay off two of those. And as it currently stands, I have 5 out of the 9 student loan accounts that I started off with paid off. And let me see, I'm working on a sixth one right now, and I think I have a couple thousand left on that. So I'm hoping to have that paid off. I'm planning to have that paid off by the end of this month, and then it's just 3 student loan accounts remaining. At that point, with the next one up being the one that my uncle signed on to, and I do hope to have that paid off sometime later this year. I'm thinking July or August, and then I can tackle the car loan while making minimum payments on the 2 remaining student loans. And I'm hoping next year will be the year when I'm debt free and I can be making that sort of final video saying, hey everybody, I'm debt free. So yeah, where things started. Okay, so I'm going on this this list of let's see, bullet points. So I covered where things started, where they currently stand, plans moving forward, and my philosophy. Well, I mean, for one thing, my philosophy relating to this is a lot of it's just kind of verbatim out of Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. Debt is bad. A lot of things out there as far as money is concerned. You know, I wouldn't say that it's bad. It's more like it's all predicated on, I mean, maybe falsehoods or just almost like thinking of that, you know, folks trying to get money out of you, and they'll maybe sell you like a sweet lie or so, and you gotta kind of just question things and investigate, and don't assume that, you know, the common wisdom as it's, you know, as it's sold is actually true, that all the myths are true about money. Do your own research, read up on things, you know, think for yourself. I mean, it's kind of generic sort of stuff, but I guess you had to kind of go out there being skeptical in some sense. But the biggest point, obviously, is debt is bad, and that, you know, you want to get out of debt as soon as you can. And assuming that you can do that, then, you know, I guess the next point would be building up an emergency fund. Having already started on one, if you know, I follow these baby steps, I gotta kind of get back on that. But you know, get out of debt, build that emergency fund, get that settled, and then you can start doing things like squirreling away money for retirement, or, you know, making investments and that sort of thing. Assuming obviously that you live a minimalist lifestyle, so your cost of living isn't that, you know, that high. You minimize as much as you have within your control, and you kind of go from there. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, the only thing I'd say that I'm struggling with is the whole emergency fund thing, because the first baby step is to put away 1,000. And while I have done that, I've struggled to kind of keep that because I want to pay off my debts. And, you know, at times I'll take money out of that and then use it to pay off debts, which you're technically speaking, I guess, not supposed to do. I will have to get back onto that and just sort of, I guess, be reasonable with my timetable for when I'm, you know, planning on being out of debt. Feeling kind of a lot of pressure and kind of the crunch right now with all the stuff that's gone down with COVID and the lockdowns and things of that nature. You know, kind of feel that sort of amped up concern that if I don't get this done right now, you know, what could happen? But anyways, just to sort of, you know, get that under control emotionally, and also just get that, you know, that 1,000 back in there in the savings account, and then just plot on ahead, and don't touch that 1,000 basically. Make my calculations for how much I'm going to pay based off of that not being there, and just kind of stick with that. But anyways, that's it for this first video. 8.5 minutes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the likes, the comments, the subscriptions. And hopefully this will be the first video in a playlist where I can, you know, update folks on where things stand, and maybe, you know, as I go on, maybe I'll read other books on finance, and I can, you know, make videos about that sort of stuff, and then how it relates to my journey. So we'll see how that turns out. Thanks for watching. Counting on about 9 minutes, and I will see you folks around. Bye bye.